We start for today's verse. Today is Canto 3, Chapter 12, entitled Creation of the Kumaras and Others. And verse number is 48. 48 verse I will recite 3 times.
Prabhu Pramadhani.
Premdhani, yes. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजा चक्रचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरापुरी वृंदावन धाम की जय। गंगा माई जमुना माई की जय। तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्याम वेद भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि बोल। All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Hare Bol.
Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchayva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. So let us read today's verse number 48. शब्द ब्रह्मात्मनस्तस्य व्यक्ता व्यक्तात्मनः परः ब्रह्मावभाति विततो नानाशक्ति उपब्रह्मितः शब्द ब्रह्मात्मनस्तस्य व्यक्ता व्यक्तात्मनः परः ब्रह्मावभाति विततो नानाशक्ति उपब्रह्मितः शब्द ब्रह्मात्मनस्तस्य व्यक्ता व्यक्तात्मनः परः ब्रह्मावभाति विततो नानाशक्ति उपब्रह्मितः. Please recite.
Shabda Brahmatmanatma na Shabda Brahmatmanatmanastasya Vyaktya Vyaktyaatmana para Brahmavabhati Vitavato Nana Shaktya Upabhrahmita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shabda Brahmat Manastasya Vyakta Vyaktatmana Paraha Brahma Vabhati Vitato Nana Saktya Upabrimhitaha. Hare Krishna.
Brahmatmanastasya Vyakta Vyaktatmana Para Brahma Vabhati Vitato Nana Shakti Upabhramita.
Anyone else? Okay, let us read the word-to-word translation. Shabda Brahma, transcendental sound. Atmanah, of the Supreme Lord. Tasya, his. Vyakta, manifested. Avyakta Atmanah, of the unmanifested. Paraha, transcendental. Brahma, the absolute truth, the absolute, eva bhati, completely manifested, vitatah, distributing, nana, multifarious, shakti, energies, upabrahmita, invested with. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Brahma is the personal representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the source of transcendental sound, and is therefore above the conception of manifested and unmanifested. Brahma is complete form of absolute truth and is invested with multifarious energies. Purport: the post of Brahma is the highest responsible post within the universe, and it is offered to the most perfect personality of the universe. Sometimes the Supreme Personality of Godhead had to become Brahma when there is no suitable living being to occupy the post. In the material world, Brahma is complete representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the transcendental sound prana comes from him. He is therefore invested with multifarious energies, from which all the demigods like Indra, Chandra, and Varuna are manifested. The transcendental value is not to be minimized, even though he exhibited the tendency to enjoy his own daughter. There is a purpose for the exhibition of such a tendency by Brahma, and he is not to be condemned like an ordinary living entity. Verse number 49, which I will read myself. Tato param upadaya sasargaya mano dade. Thereafter, Brahma accepted another body in which sex life was not forbidden. Thus, he engaged himself in the matter of further creation. Purport: In his former body, which was transcendental, affection for sex life was forbidden, and Brahma therefore had to accept another body to allow himself to be connected with sex. He thus engaged himself in the matter of creation. His former body transformed into fog as previously described. Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Vasyatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading how the creation by Brahmaji, which is the Visarga, took place, and that's what Vyasadeva is describing in this chapter, Canto 3, about the creation of the Kumaras and others, which he described. Now we are almost at the end of the chapter. A few more sloks, and this chapter will be gone, and then we will be starting chapter 13th, which is the appearance of Lord Varadeya. That's what we will study maybe in 1 week. We have still up to verse number 57 to go. So in these two sloks now, let us see where we are actually, what we are discussing. So in last few days, we discussed about the Vedic meters, how the different meters are working and how the verse writing came in the picture actually, and how the audible sounds, like sare, ga, ma, pa, da, nisa, these all sounds, and also Shabda Brahma came, because this verse also starts from Shabda Brahma. So in these two verses actually, it is said that Brahma is, whose body is composed of Shabda Brahma, because Brahmaji is the first one to hear the sound from the body, because when he was meditating on the Supreme Lord, because when he came on the lotus flower, which was sprouted from the navel of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, that where he is, who he is, and why Krishna sent him there. So he was having all these questions, and then he was meditating on the Supreme Lord because it was all dark there. He could not understand anything. So first time he heard from the Lord after he did meditation for 1000 celestial years, Brahmaji's year. So that's many years from like earthly. So he did that long tapasya, and after that he heard the word from the Lord, tapa, tapa. So, and then he did the meditation after he heard these words. So his body is like, so he heard the words from the Lord. So that's Shabda Brahma. And Brahmaji is actually, he's the first born person, first living entity in this material world, from whom everybody else came actually. So Krishna actually invested a lot of multifarious energies in him. And he is the personal representative of Supreme Lord. So he represents actually Supreme Lord in this material world. And verse number 49, it is described that when he gave up his previous body, he accepted the newer body, because previous body, which Brahmaji's job was for creation actually. He came to create the world, but without having the his body was transcendental at that time, the first body. So he could not have any of the even thinking about the sex life or anything. So it was completely forbidden. So and his job was different, that he has to have the like praja, the population, and how he can produce the population without having sex life, So he has to, and one time, when his daughter Saraswati or walk, she came, then he actually had the bad intention, to enjoy her. And that's why when his sons, especially headed by Marichi, he said that this doesn't look good for you because you are the ideal person. Because Brahmaji, as we know, he's one of the Mahajan, first Mahajan is Brahmaji. So he has to behave properly. And so when he heard all these things from his own son, then he became so much ashamed and he gave up that body. Actually, his body remains, it's not like he died and he was reborn. It's not something like that. He gave up his mentality. It's described in the Shastras that he gave up the mentality of that mentality, and then he got the new consciousness which was not forbidden in the sex life, so that he can concentrate on the creation, because that was his primary job Lord Krishna gave. So let us read the shloka again. Shabda brahmatmanastasya vyakta vyaktatmanah parah brahmava bhati vitato nana shakti upabrahmhitah. So Brahmaji is the personal representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he represents Krishna, Lord, Supreme Lord, this material world. And he is the source of transcendental sound. Transcendental sound, Om, or Pranam. It comes from him, from the Brahmaji. So that's why it's written in the shlok that he is above the conception of manifested and unmanifested. So whatever we see manifested form and unmanifested, he is above those forms. And he is the complete form of the absolute truth. So there is Brahmaji is the complete absolute truth, and Krishna gave him lot of multifarious energies. So in the purport Sri Prabhupada writing, the post of Brahma is the highest responsible post within the universe. So he is the first human being, but it is the highest post, who gets chance, to create whole the material world, help Krishna in his Leela, like that. So Brahmaji is helping actually the Supreme Lord in his creation, and because this material world has to be created because people didn't wanted to enjoy themselves, so a separate world was created, like in the in the kingdom when there are bad guys, for them the king makes the prison. Like in the state also we see there are so many small prisons, and there is big prisons also, and there is a maximum security prisons also. So there are so many prisons has to be made. So Krishna is actually made many universes for those souls who do not want to stay with him in the spiritual world. And we are one of them actually who are in the material world. But Krishna wants us back there. So he is the perfect personality of the universe. And sometimes Prabhupada is writing in the purport that sometimes when Krishna doesn't get Brahmaji, like Brahmaji is selected from the persons, who are living here. So when Lord does not get suitable living and being to occupy the post of Brahmaji, then there are instances in the Vedic literature that Krishna himself or Lord Vishnu himself has to become Brahmaji. So Brahmaji is the complete representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is also the transcendental sound Pranav. And Pranav comes from him. So that's why Krishna has invested many energy. He has given him so many powers to generate. So that's why he was able to generate all the population here through his sons and and all the saints, whatever came as his sons. So like we know that in the beginning, all the Kumaras came first, 4 Kumaras, but they refused. And then who came? Then Brahmaji got very angry on the Kumaras that they are my first children and they don't want to help me in the creation, which was the part of Supreme Lord's order to him, that you have to generate the population. So when they refused, he got very angry. He tried to control his anger, but then anger came out from between the eyebrows. And who came out from there? The Rudra. And then he ordered Rudra to produce, but all the Rudras which were produced, they were very angry and they tried to destroy this material world. So Brahmaji has to tell him to stop any more creation. And Brahmaji also gave him the 12 Rudras came and 12 Rudranis came from them. And after that, all the saints, 10 sons of Brahma came and Saptarishi, and all that way the population increased. But when Brahma saw that the population is not increasing as he wanted, that's why he meditated on the Lord, and then from the Lord he took another body of, like when another body came, then from his body came a male and a female. Male came from the front part of the body, and which was known as the Swayambhu Manu. And then came from the back part of his body, came Satarupa, female. And then after the combination of Satarupa and the Swayambhu Manu, then he had the sons, Tanpad and Priyabrat, and 3 daughters. And those daughters were married to different saints. And then all this population, slowly filled up this whole universe like that. And so there are 25 main people, who help in the creation. So in every universe, all the population comes from these 25 persons, So that is the way this whole creation comes. So Prabhupada is writing that Brahmaji is awarded with the multifarious energies, and from which the demigods like Indra, Chandra, and Varuna, these all demigods comes from those energies. So Prabhupada is writing, then Brahmaji's value should not be minimized because he went behind his own daughter, because this was done for the purpose. And what was the purpose? That he exhibited that in this material world, the Maya Shakti is so strong that they can pull up even the greatest personality in this material world, Brahmaji. So what to say about us? So that was the main purpose of that. Therefore, he should not be condemned, that we should not condemn Brahmaji. And like an ordinary living entity, he is very special soul. He is he has the highest responsible post in this material world. So Brahmaji's value should not be minimized like that. That okay, what kind of person he is? He went through his own daughter. So but that's why Brahmaji took another body and he started continue creating what was the job given by the Lord. So our duty is actually to see how we can continue what main job to us given by Supreme Lord, to remember him always and never forget him. So let us start from the Shabda Brahma, because Shabda Brahma is the first word is written here. So what is Shabda Brahma actually? Shabda Brahma is representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also called as Nada Brahma. Also, Sabda Brahma is also Nada Brahma, which is the transcendental sound vibration within the Vedic scripture. So, what is the meaning of Shabda? Shabda is the sound. Shabda means a sound or the word, and Brahma means Brahman or the ultimate reality of the Supreme Lord. So, Shabda Brahma together means a sound of the Supreme Lord or sound of the Brahman. And actually, all the Vedic scripture, if you see, they often describe this universe is originated from the primary sound vibration. So this whole universe is originated from the sound vibration. Om, we can see, this Om is the sound manifestation and everything. This is also called a pranam. So it represents Sabda Brahman, this pranam Om. And this is the embodying the total sound, totality of the sound in this universe. So that's the main sound. So it has a spiritual significance actually. This Omkar or Om sound or Prana sound, it is not just a conception of creation, but it's still path of the spiritual realization. From this we can realize from Om. So there are so many mantras, we actually recite those mantras like Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this starts from Om. Then we can see we like Om Agyanti Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruniritam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namaha. Also Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. So everything starts from Om actually. So we use this Om many times because that is the prime word, from whole universe comes from that. So Shabda Brahma is very important. And we can see the Brahmaji's position actually, what Brahmaji is. Brahmaji is as is written, that he is represented to the Supreme Lord. So how he is represented to the Supreme Lord? So actually Krishna takes incarnations and we have read many times about the types of incarnations. So Krishna takes like Purusha avatars, Leela avatar, Guna avatar, then Manvantara avatar, and Yuga avatar, and also Shakti-Aves avatar. So Brahmaji is actually Shakti-Aves avatar of the Lord. So actually, if you see, Lord takes either he expands himself from his own body, or that's known as Swan's expansions. And then is Vibhinna avatar, Vibhinna expansions of the Lord. So what is the Swans? Swans is the immediate expansions from the Lord, called Swansha. Swansha means they comes from his own body. So like Vasudeva is Krishna's immediate expansion. And then who is the Vasudeva? Vasudeva is like, what is the first expansion? Balramji. So that's called Vasudeva. In Bhagavad Gita, we read in 10th chapter, 37th shloka, Vrashnina Vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjaya Muninam api aham vyasa kavinam ushna kavihi. So he's saying, Vrashnina, of the Vrashnis, I am the Vasudeva. And of the Pandavas, I am Pandavanam Dhananjaya, I am the Arjuna. And of the sages, Muninam, aham Vyasa, I am the Vyasadeva. And Kavinam, Ushna Kavi. So in the Kavis, in the poets, what I am Ushna. And who is Ushna? The Sukracharya, who is the spiritual master of the demons, because he was very poetic. And so that's why, even though he is the he is the spiritual master of the demons, still he is considered as the representative of the opulence of the Krishna. That's why in the Vibhuti Yoga, in the 10th chapter, opulences, it's described, his name and all these names. So if you see how this whole Shashti comes, how Krishna takes different incarnations actually. So from Krishna, actually, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Balramji comes first, expansion. And from Balramji, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, and Pradyumna. This first Chaturvyuh takes place from Balramji. And then from them, who comes? Lord Narayan. Narayan comes, and from Narayan there is second Chaturvyuh, and then Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Mahashankarshan, and Pradyumna comes. And from them, all the avatars from Mahashankarshan comes Purusha avatars. The first comes Mahavishnu or Karanodakshai Vishnu, and then from them comes Garbhodakshai Vishnu, which goes in each universe, and then comes Kshirodakshai Vishnu. So this is different, like Krishna takes swans, and Krishna takes, there are main avatars, Krishna takes main, like so many incarnations of Krishna described, some say 24 incarnations, and so, but they are swans and Vibhinna Ansha also, but main avatars are the Matsya avatar, Kumara avatar, Varaha avatar, Narsimha avatar, then Vaman avatar, Parshuram, and Rama avatar, Balram avatar, Krishna avatar, and Kalki avatar, like that. So these are the main 10 avatars of Supreme Lord. And then there are so many Shaktis of the Lord also. So Lord there's in this material world, in this world, there are main tattvas, So one is Vishnu tattva, then there is Shiva tattva. Shiva tattva is quite different, it's in between Shiva tattva and Jiv tattva. We are the marginal energy of the Lord. We are also eternal, and so we are Jiv tattva. Then there is Shiva tattva, and there is Shakti tattva also. Shakti tattva is mainly is Radharani, and from Radharani all the concerts of, or the Lakshmis, concerts of the Lord, and all the Lakshmis comes, and Yogamaya, Mahamaya is part of them, and like Durga, Kali, these are all part of the Shakti. They are all Shakti Tattvas. So like that, this whole material world takes place. So Purusha avatars, if we see in the Purusha avatar, these are the expansions of Krishna, and they help responsible for creation, maintenance, and the destruction. And so the examples, like all these Purusha avatars, is Mahavishnu, Karnadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shirodakshay Vishnu. In the Leela avatars, Krishna descends and then performs many pastimes, so we can remember him. So like Krishna took his avatar, his incarnation 5,000 years ago, but still everything is described in the Shastra, and we recite them, remember them through them. So that was the Krishna's main purpose, that people can remember him and get back to the spiritual world again. So we read the different descriptions of Matsya avatar, Vara avatar, Kumara avatar, Narsimha avatar, like that. And then there are Guna avatars, which are the three gunas. They represent, like they are these avatars, they don't have any of those gunas, satagunas, like sattvagun, rajagun, tamogun. They don't have it, but they represent that. So we can see that sattvagun is represented by Lord Vishnu. Mode of rajagun or passion represented. Sattvagun is represented by Brahmaji, then Vishnu. Sattvagun is presented by Vishnu. Passion is the Brahmaji, and ignorance is Tamogun, is represented by Lord Shiva. So Vishnu is associated with goodness, Brahmaji is associated with passion, and Shiva is associated with the ignorance. Then there are so many Manvantara avatars. Every Manvantar, there are 14 Manvantars in one day of Brahma, and there are 14 Manus. Along that, 14 Indras also there, and Saptarishis are separate for each Manvantar. So we can see in those 14 Manus, like Yagya, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajit, Vamana, they all are like different Manus, for each Manvantar, like that. And then there are Yuga avatars. So in each 4 yugas, there is one avatar. In the Kali Yuga, Krishna is considered in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's Krishna is considered Yoga avatar. Krishna took his appearance in the Dwapara Yuga, end of the Dwapara Yuga. Lord Ramchandra came in Treta Yuga, like that. So there is Yuga avatar. Every Yuga there is one avatar of the Lord. And then Shakti Avesh avatars, they are the empowered incarnations. So, and they are actually living entities, but Krishna empowers them that they can function, and Krishna gives them portion of his divine power to fulfill that specific mission. They don't have general powers to do everything, but for that particular mission, Krishna gives them the special power so they can perform their duties. Like Narada Muni was given a special power like that. For Kumaras, Kapil Dev, Rishabdev, Prathu, Parshuramji. So these are all different examples of Shakti Avatar. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada, who is also considered a Shakti Avatar, because he got a special power, to spread the movement, Krishna conscious movement, all over the world. Otherwise, people were. So that's why, with the special powers from the Supreme Lord, Srila Prabhupada was able to make so many devotees, was able to make 108 temples, so many farm communities, so many gurukuls, so many things established by Srila Prabhupada, so many books he could write. So how a single person at that age can perform all these things without the power of Krishna? It's very difficult actually. That's why Krishna gave him special power and special blessing so he could accomplish this. And now his devotees are carrying his mission, and we can see the results, how Krishna consciousness movement is really the fastest movement growing in the whole world, and people can see the effect, of the Harinam, how much effect, and which we started by Srila Prabhupada in New York. So we should all be very thankful to Srila Prabhupada for giving this great moment to us, and also giving us so many books, giving us the temples, so we can associate with the devotees. So these are all important contributions of Srila Prabhupada. So all these incarnations we see Shaktavesh avatar. So Brahmaji is also one of the Shaktavesh avatar. So these incarnations, all incarnations actually are described in the revealed scriptures. Nobody can claim that I am Bhagwan, because nowadays we see so many Bhagwans, people consider them, oh, he is Bhagwan. So actually it is not mentioned in the book. They are not incarnations. They have to be included. And actually, like even before Lord Ram appeared in this material world in Treta Yuga, description was given in the Valmiki Ramayana, that how he will be born, where he will be born. Similarly, so many shlokas we can see about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where he will be born, who will be his parents. Everything is given like that. So actually, incarnation need not to declare himself that I am the incarnations of the Lord, like many people say, Bhagwan, I am Bhagwan, I am Bhagwan. They are not Bhagwans, which claim themselves. Actually, the great sages, after seeing the scripture and seeing all the symptoms mentioned in the Shastra, they declare that this is the avatar of the Lord, this is incarnation of the Lord. Then they consider, not like he himself, person himself declares that I am Bhagwan, like Pondarik, even in front of Krishna, he was telling, I am the real Krishna. So we can imagine, that's why now there are so many Bhagwans all around. You see anywhere, you will see so many Bhagwans. So they are directly powered, direct incarnations of the Lord. And and there are so many innumerable empowered incarnations also, like Srila Prabhupada, So there are direct incarnations and indirect incarnations, which are known as Vibhinansha. So when they are directly powered, they are called incarnations. But when incarnations are indirectly powered, they are called Vibhutis. So that's why in Vibhuti Yoga, Lord, in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told all the different among the I'm the taste of the water. Among these, I'm the Munis, I'm this, I'm the mountain, I'm this. So they are not actually the empowered incarnations, but they have little ansha of the Lord, like that. Like Lord says, I'm the digestion. So whatever he eat, Krishna actually is the digestive power which digest, if the Krishna's presence is not in our body, we cannot even digest this little thing, So we can see how Krishna helps us in every aspect of our life. And because he is present in the form of Paramatma in our heart, our consciousness is there. We are moving, otherwise we are dead. This body is dead actually, This is only alive because of the conscious, our Atma, which is part of Krishna actually. Atma is eternal. We are the individual soul and Krishna is the super soul. And but we have also certain qualities of Lord himself, and we have to recognize those qualities and try to develop more and more so we can actually remember Krishna. So first who came? The 7 great sages came. And before the sages came, I'm describing the creation, how the creation took place. The 4 Kumaras came, then came sages, and then the Manus came, the progenitors of the mankind, which were born from the mind of Brahma. That's why they say Manas Putra, because there was no lady involved, no female was involved. They came just by Brahma thought, that I should have these children. They became all great sages. And so Lord is giving the geological synopsis, how the universal population came about. So Brahmaji is the original creator born out of the energy of the Lord, also known as Hiranyagarbha. So from Hiranyagarbha, Brahmaji comes, and from Brahmaji the 7 great rishis comes, and the 4 Kumaras comes, which are the Sanaka, Sanananda, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumar. And then all the Manus were manifested. So these are total in 25. So everything, they are known as Prajapatis. So all the population came from these Prajapatis all over the universe, not in this universe only, but all the other universes also the same thing happens, So everything comes from these Prajapatis whose job is to get the population, and that's why this whole world is populated that way. So actual Lord, Supreme Lord, Brahmaji is known as Pitama. He is the Pitama, is the grandfather, because he then from his the all these the sages came, and after that their population. So Brahmaji is the Pitama, and Supreme Personality actually is the father of the Pitama also. So he is the father of the grandfather. So Lord Krishna or Vishnu is the great grandfather, the Pitamaha. So we can see in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes this, that how he is the Prapitamaha or the great grandfather. So Krishna says, Vayur Yamo Agnir Varunaha Shashankaha Prajapatiswam Prapitamahasya Namo Namastestu Shahastakratvaha Punasya Bhuyo Api Namo Namaste. He's saying, Oh Lord, you are the air, you are the supreme controller, you are the fire, you are the water, you are the moon, you are the Brahma, the first living creature. You are the great grandfather. So who is this? After seeing the Virat Rupa of Supreme Lord, the Arjuna is described. After seeing all the opulences of Lord, is described that the Brahmaji is the first living creature, and he is the he is the grandfather of the whole population, and you are the great grandfather. And therefore I offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times. So Lord is addressed here as air, because the air is the most important representation of the demigods. Because air is all pervasive. And Krishna is addressed as grandfather because he is the father of Brahmaji, who is the first living creature in this universe. So this is the description of how the population work of the Lord Brahma, which is the creation took place. And now in the next few shloks, we are going to read, like next week, we are going to read how the material population came about from Swayambhu Manu and Satarupa, because they were the first male and female came out of the body of Brahmaji. And and whole population came from combination of Shatrupa and Swayambhu Manu. So about them we will be reading in the verse numbers 50 to 57. And there is still little time. So today is very, very auspicious day of the Jhulan Yatra. Today Jhulan Yatra is starting. So we will discuss a little bit about Jhulan Yatra, what is the importance of Jhulan Yatra, and how Krishna enjoyed that. And the the festival, the swing festival, and we put Krishna on the swing, and he enjoys with Radharani in the swing, and people sing his glories, sing his kirtan, offer flowers to him, and Krishna actually accepts those offerings during this season. And This is very nice season in India actually where it started. With like this is the Shravan month of July and August. So this is very beautiful weather and nice breeze and everything. So this Julan Yatra Swing Festival is celebration of the divine love between Radha and Krishna. So it involves placing the deities because in the temples the main deities cannot go on the swing. They are not moved from the altar. So what happens then? There is a Utsav deities. They are taken like in our temple. We take the small deities of Radha and Krishna. So we take them on the decorated swing. We decorate the swing very beautifully with all the flowers and the leaves and everything. And then the devotees gently push the swing to and fro and offer the prayers and offer the kirtan, devotional songs. And this way we celebrate Julan Yatra. So this Yatra goes somewhere between 5 days, in some places to 13 days also, in many other places. It may be 5 days, 7 days, or 13 days, whatever it may be, but devotees celebrate very beautifully and they enjoy the festival because Krishna is very happy, and in Krishna's happiness, we also should be happy also and give pleasure to Krishna by remembering him, by rendering some service to him, like that. So Prabhupada writes in letter to Jai Pataka Swami on 1st August 69 that regarding Jhulan Yatra festival, so during these 5 days, the deity's clothing should be changed every single day, and there should be nice prasadam distribution and sankirtan as far as possible. If you are able to do it, a nice throne may be constructed on which the deities can be placed. This throne may be swing gently during the kirtan. That will be very good, and surely the deity will enjoy this function. So to give pleasure to Radha and Krishna, this must be done. So Prabhupada is saying in one other letter that we have to practice Krishna consciousness. But here we see in this material world what the people do, they also have to work. It's not just, oh, why I should work for Krishna, because in material world also without work we cannot maintain even our family or even our body. So it is not possible. We have to work actually because whenever we are alive, we have to work. We cannot just sit down. So that's why Shastra says, Sharira yatrapi tena prasiddhayer akarmana. Akarmana means Krishna says to Arjun, without karma, you cannot maintain even your body. So you have to work. Because work is important. So when we want to do some devotional work, then we should swing the Krishna or clean the Krishna's temple, decorate Krishna's swing. So these things we should do, like Janmashtami coming. So we should do some seva, any kind of seva we can do with this body. That's very nice. Then our body will slowly get purified more and more by rendering some service to Krishna. Krishna, there is nothing to work. Actually, if you see, like devotional work, there is nothing. The devotional seva is not bad. Doing kirtan, honoring the prasadam, like hearing Krishna's classes, especially with devotees, there is not much work here, But in material work, there is so much work. From morning to evening, people work. We can see the donkey, how hard he works. So many persons work so hard in this material world. But if we do Krishna consciousness or the devotional service, then Krishna will be very happy because by Jhulan Yatra, Krishna gets very happy. He likes it very much. And we can see another perspective also why Krishna likes it very much. Because what happens in the Braja at that time when this festival started, then there was culture in India that in the Shravan month, there is Raksha Bandhan, and there are all these nice festivals comes. So the daughters, from their in-laws house, she's taken to the parents' house, parental house, and everybody goes there in the parents' house. All the daughters goes to parents' house during that time. So the custom is that the brother comes to take the sister, and he takes her home, her father's home from the husband's house. So this was the culture during that time in the end of the Dwapara Yuga. So so the daughter goes to father's house, stays there some days, and enjoy the swing festival that time. So every year Radha Rani used to go and to Varsana, to her parents' house. So one time this is very nice story about swing festival. That one time Radha Rani is waiting for her brother Sudham that he will come and take me to Varsana. But somehow or the other he was busy. Brother was busy with some other duties, so he could not come on time. And Radha Rani was waiting. But there is no sign of Sudama coming. So she was actually very sad at that time. So one day, one person came from Varsana to Gokula, and then so Radharani asked him that, did my father forgot me totally? Why they have forgotten me? And she started to cry. So when this person went to Vrashabhanu Maharaj and told that your daughter is remembering you, why you didn't send somebody? So at that time, Vrashabhanu Maharaj immediately sent Sridham to Varsana to get Radharani. So and Radharani actually, and for Srimati Radharani, his mother packed so many presents to her in-laws house, Jalit, and her mother-in-law was Jalita, so for her, Jatila and Kutila. So from Jatila and Kutila, she sent so many gifts, so they can send Radharani easily. So because sometimes, the father-in-law's house, mother-in-law, father-in-law, they refuse. No, she will not go to father's house, she will stay here. So that's why they used to send some gifts to in-laws to make them happy, so they can permit daughter to go. So that was the custom. Nowadays, those customs are not there anymore. Whenever daughter wants to go, she can go. But at that time, she, Kirtida Mataji actually sent so many gifts for Jatila and Kutila to bring the Radharani to their house. So when Radharani went to Varsana, she was swinging on the swing, but she was not feeling good without Krishna there. She was remembering Krishna. So Krishna will come sometime and sit down with Radharani there, and he enjoyed the swing festival at that time. So this is the starting of this is by these things, they started swing festival. So Jatila and Kutila told Radharani that, okay, you can go now for a few days. So they went in the bullock cart, actually is described in the Krishna book, that 4 bullocks were carrying Radharani and Sudama, and they went to their palace, on the hilltop. When we go to Varsana, we can see how much, it's like on the hilltop. So then when Radharani arrived there, everybody was so happy, and they were weeping actually in the happiness. And they saw the father, Radharani saw her father and mother face to face. So at that time, Jhulan Yatra people started swinging. Jhulan festival was started because Radharani arrived late, because his brother went late there. So Jhulan Yatra was going on. So she also enjoyed with her friends, Jhulan. So Krishna sometime will come in the disguise of the Gopi, another friend. of Radharani, and she will sit down, and sometime Radharani will embrace that other gopi which was sitting there, but sometimes it's not the gopi, but it's a Krishna in the form of gopi. So, and Krishna actually enjoy this hugging by Radharani herself, because Krishna has to try so many times that Radharani hugs. Most of the time Krishna will hug Radharani, but Radharani will not try to hug Krishna. But in this form, when Krishna comes in the form of a gopi, then actually when Radharani hugs, Krishna really enjoys that. And that's what we celebrate, the divine love of Radha and Krishna. This way it started, and we are continuing the tradition. And in the Braj Bhumi, if we go Varsana and Braj Bhumi, Gokul, Nanda, all 64-mile area, they celebrate for 13 days this Julan Yatra, and so many visitors come and visit that area, Brasdham, and enjoy this Julan festival. And they fest, and we, like in our temples, we celebrate only few minutes. They celebrate many hours. They continue kirtan, and they celebrate so many things. They distribute so much prasadam, and that way, whole mood is Krishna consciousness. There, they sing the songs and everything. So this way we can perform devotional service and try to make Krishna happy, because Krishna becomes happy. His mood is very jolly in this time of the year, and he's enjoying the swing festival with Radharani. So he really enjoys that, and he is in a very blissful mood also. So he can bless all of us and give us some energy so we can continue our devotional service and try to make Krishna happy. And that should be the aim of our life. That's a goal of our life. Krishna prem, somehow or the other, we have to achieve the prem of Krishna. And this is one of the process, Julan Yatra, through which we can get some favor of Krishna. Thank you very much for listening. And if there is any question, comments, we can discuss. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. It was very nice listening to the pastime about Radharani and Julan Yatra. If anybody has questions or any realizations or any thoughts on how to celebrate Julan Yatra, please just unmute yourself. So at the temple, we will have Julan Yatra till Friday. It ends on Friday. So please do make sure to go to the temple before Friday at least once to swing Krishna and Radharani on the Julan.
Yeah, we will end on Balram Jayanti. Balramji is a Prince Day. And so from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we have 5 days. So we can attend 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, whatever we should actually enjoy this and try to render some kind of devotional service through that.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for a nice class and all the pastimes of Krishna, and especially for Julan, this thing, when Radharani was, the Krishna was playing as Gopi. Those were the really very nice things to hear. So that's thank you very much for that.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Otherwise, we can end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhyo vaiष्णवेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जुलन यात्रा फेस्टिवल की जय।